Okay, hey YouTube. So this past week, have seen a number of trans deaths reported, and these victims all happen to be trans women of color. And so I've seen a lot of posts from the trans community, from activists, talking about how this violence against trans people needs to stop, how we need to combat transphobia. And I agree that we do need to combat transphobia, that we need to call it out when we see it, when we hear it, particularly in the media, among our friends, things like that. But we can't just stop at calling out transphobia and transphobic comments. We also have to call out racist comments. We have to call out racist individuals or people who say or do racist things, because race plays a factor in many of these murders. Economic status plays a factor in many of these murders. We can't just sit around and pretend that these people are being killed solely because they're trans. They're being killed because of intersectionality. They're being killed because these are lives on the boundaries. These are people who are kind of living on the fringe of society because society has pushed them away, because society marginalizes racial minorities. They marginalize the economically disadvantaged. They marginalize trans people. And when you combine these marginalization effects, it creates disparate outcomes that tend to be overwhelmingly negative for these individuals. And that is why we see these individuals being killed at crazy rates, above what we should be seeing given the sort of trans prevalence in society. And it has to stop. And the only way it's going to stop is if we address things like police brutality. Because when you don't feel safe contacting the police for help, or when the police, when they do come, humiliate you, embarrass you, misgender you, don't follow up with your cases, it sort of creates this mindset of what is the law going to do for somebody like this. And the law isn't going to protect a survival sex worker. It's not going to protect somebody who is involved with drugs. And that just further increases marginalization, among many other factors. And so race is an LGBT issue. Police brutality is an LGBT issue. And we as a trans community, particularly those of us with more privilege, need to stand up and use our voices to address those issues just as much as we use our voices to address transphobia. Otherwise, we're doing our trans brothers and sisters an incredible disservice.